Patients with colon cancer who present as an emergency are a specific challenge. The frequency of this finding depends. It may vary from probably less than 10%, maybe to 30%, and even more. The reason for these differences are early detection campaigns or late diagnosis of cancer. Finally, the decision-making, what to do, depends on the clinical finding. Obstruction is the most common one. If you've got a perforation, it depends whether it is free, and then you may find minor peritonitis or advanced fecal one with a very high mortality. And finally, if the tumor is covered by the omentum, it may be found with or without an abscess, and sometimes you find a combination of all. So, for example, a completely stenosing sigmoid cancer with perforation of the cecum and diffuse fecal peritonitis. Severe bleeding is very rare. Now, when we look into our material, so we find 10% emergencies, so 90% present as elective cases. And the most common finding is obstruction in about 3/4 and perforation in 1/4. And threatening bleeding is extremely rare. And it may happen maybe once every 3 years in a high volume center. It is a bit more common after surgery, and if a patient is bleeding perennially within the next hours, it's a blood vessel at the anastomosis. If it happens a bit later, it's most frequently induced by a leak. So let us have a look at the different sides. So if there's an obstruction on the right side, which is less common than on the left one, you can perform most frequently a resection with immediate anastomosis. On the left side, there are several options. So if it is a very far advanced tumor and an RC resection is probably not feasible, for example, sigmoid cancer extending to the iliac vessels with extended lymph node metastasis, this patient probably needs neoadjuvant radiotherapy and therefore a stoma first. Some prefer endoscopic stents, but that needs really special experience with this procedure. And if you do a primary resection, you can discuss immediate anastomosis again, with or without stoma, or disconnection. So we have several options to treat patients mainly on the left side. Now, with a free perforation, a patient always needs immediate surgery because this is a life-threatening event. But with a sealed or covered perforation, this depends on the clinical presentation. And so sometimes you can even have the bowel movements again, and the patient can be operated electively, but these patients are not included in the discussion. I will continue. Well, finally, a sealed perforation indicates a high risk of local recurrence and reduced survival. And what I said already is that primary surgery should be performed only if you feel that an RC resection is feasible, and this is true for most of the cases. But then you have to excise the abscess too. And if there is an abscess extending into the abdominal wall, you have to resect the coverage of this abscess, whatever it is. So it's most frequently on the left side, rarely on the right one. And you should know if you perform a percutaneous drainage, the risk of local recurrence is even more increased. But you can discuss in a case like that, far advanced local case, percutaneous abscess, drain it, make a deviating stoma, followed maybe by neoadjuvant chemoirritation and surgery then. Now, there are also some organizational implications. We operate emergencies the same way as elective cases concerning the local treatment. But that means that you need a fully trained service all around the clock, 24 hours a day, every day a week. And sometimes maybe they are just residents on the service, and they may be not able to perform a radical resection, which is even more complicated and difficult in advanced and therefore complicated cases, maybe obstruction or even perforation. So there are also organizational implications if you follow these rules. But in our internal guidelines, a radical procedure is demanded, as radical as with elective cases. Now these are our patients. So in our series with more than 200 emergencies operated in almost 20 years, about more than 50% developed certain complications, but these also include minor ones. So the most relevant ones happened in 79 patients. Sepsis without anastomotic leak is rare. We performed a leak in just 47 out of these 79 patients, but if we decided to do an anastomosis, the leak rate was pretty low with 4%. So finally, mortality is 13%, and this is due mainly to sepsis, peritonitis after previous free perforations with initial diffuse peritonitis already. Now survival is reduced too. If we exclude mortality, observed survival is just 47% and cancer-related a bit higher. This indicates also that these patients are older than those operated electively. Finally, I know that this concept cannot be accepted by everybody in this world because, as I mentioned, you need a lot of experience, you need a service all around the clock at a high level. But what is most important for the patient who presents with an emergency, you should get the best result for him. And if you are not able to treat a sealed perforation, send it to a center. And as free perforations are rare, only these patients probably need surgery, but should send them to a center too. So finally, emergencies are a specific challenge, and they are not treated adequately everywhere, and this should be improved.